Hey everybody, this is Billy from LM Cases, and today we're going to show you how to install the rack rail spacer kit that comes standard with all 4U half rack studio install shells. Let's check it out. So we've got 8 of our foam board spacers. These are an 1/8 inch thick, and you get 8. And then you also get 8 of our black oxide flush mount screws. Now the tools that you're going to need to work with these are an 1/8 inch Allen key, and then you also need a 3/8 inch socket. And then we just got this attached to an impact driver right here, and a tape measure. One of the problems with half rack equipment is that there really isn't a standard. Manufacturers can live within the terminology of it being a half rack, but it doesn't conform to a normal 19-inch standard like regular rack equipment would. And one of the main pieces of equipment that we need to space the rails in for are Neve Portico pieces. Now Neve Portico gear is 9 inches on center as far as hole to hole. So what we mean by hole to hole are these dimensions, this hole to this hole, on center, which means in the center of each of those holes, that is 9 inches on Neve gear. And currently, our dimension on this is 10 inches on this rack. So you have to bring this in a full inch if you're using Neve Portico gear. So the way that these things are installed are very, very simple. So on the exterior of the case, you've got just the hex head of the bolt. And then on the inside of the case, you've got a lock washer, or excuse me, a nut with a lock washer on it. So to remove this, it's actually very simple. So what we're going to do is we're just going to move this onto the inside like this. And we're going to grab our impact driver, and we're just going to make sure that we're set to loosen, which we are. We're going to grab our T-handled Allen wrench and just stick it in the hole just like that. And I'm going to grab this top one, loosen that. I'm going to get the bottom one. I'm going to loosen that up. So the trick is to not loosen them all the way, but just enough so that the rack rail is floating on there. We'll take our nuts off here just like that. If you're only using one spacer on the rack, you probably won't need to take these bolts out. But if you're doing a lot of spacers, you might need to replace them with a longer bolt. So in that case, these come right out, just like that, and you can replace them with these 1.5 inch bolts right here. And just to show you the size difference of, these come standard with the case, and then these are the longer ones. So this allows you to add as many spaces as you need. And then the other thing that it lets you do is, if you want to have a bunch of spacers on one side, you can, or if you want to space them equally on either side, you can do that. So let's use our longer screws in this. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put these in first, just like that. And let's add 4 spacers. So this is adding 1/2 inch. And then you can take your rack rail, and I'm going to hold the bolts with my right hand, and with my left hand I'm going to put this rail in, and I'm just going to very gently find the holes. Okay, and once those are on, all you have to do is start your nuts. And I just like to thread them with my finger. And if you get one in so that it doesn't want to fall out, the rail doesn't want to fall off, that'll hold it in. And then the top ones, you just finger tighten them. And you finger tighten the bottom one. And then if we just take our T-handle Allen key, just change our impact driver to tighten. I'm just going to hold this like this. And you don't have to tighten these very hard. They're not going anywhere. And then voila, here is our finished rack. So this piece right here is our spaced piece of rail. You can see that it still looks nice, even though it's spaced about 1/2 inch off the sides. If anybody has any questions or they run into any problems that we're not addressing in this video, please drop a comment below and we'll be happy to answer you as best we can. And if you still have questions, feel free to either send us an email at info@lmcases.com, or you can give us a call at 800-874 8326. Thanks for stopping by. I hope to see you soon.